All right. How is it going, everyone? This is Brian from the Tech Stack Playbook, your guide to apps, software, and tech, but in a fun way, I promise. Coming to you live with an awesome live stream. I'm going to be bringing up two of my all-time favorite builders from AWS Community, just building tech in general. These are two people that are just like super great vibes, super great energy, really fun, friendly people, and people that just make me love working in tech and being a part of this community. So I will let them introduce themselves because they have really cool careers and they could introduce themselves better than I could. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Sully and Olumuyiwa. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
Hi, Brian. How's it going, everyone? So who wants to start?
You go.
I'll go, I guess.
Tell us all about you. Who are you?
I'll do a quick intro. So I'm Sully. I started my tech journey back in 2019. I'm a software engineer, so I mainly do like React web development work. But right now I'm doing a lot cloud computing and cloud native. So I've been dabbling. I've been a little bit all over the place lately in terms of like trying to learn and build. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. Please feel free to connect and ask questions as we proceed the conversation.
Awesome. And for everyone that's in the chat, I'm just going to be dropping everyone's social media handles. So if you're on YouTube, just check out the chat, the live chat. And then if you're on Twitch, also check out the chat. I'll drop Sully's handle next.
Yes.
All right. Olumuyiwa, you want to go next? Tell us all about you. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, my name is Olumuyiwa. I'm a platform engineer. I work with Slalom Build. It's a consulting firm where we get to enable developers' happiness. That is the way we put it. We get to, partner. We are AWS partners, so we work with clients, to either wherever they are in their cloud journey, whether they are very new or whether they are far along in their cloud journey. So I've been on a different project whereby, modernization of application in the cloud, of course, AWS, and also my recent project was about data migration, from IBM to AWS cloud. So yeah, I have a lot of tech stack that I work daily with, Terraform, CloudFormation, GitHub Actions, all of that on AWS. So yeah, I get to build a lot of cool stuff every day for our clients and also enable developer happiness. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I love it. Developer happiness. I would love to unpack that at a certain point because I feel like that's such a cool, like a good branded way to describe it. Like we also like for everyone that's watching, like we don't have an agenda. Literally, we were all messaging about this like 3 hours ago, and we were like, let's do a live stream. Okay. Right after we get out of work.
It was so unplanned.
So unplanned. And like, I feel like we should just go where the energy goes. Like, yeah. Can you like tell us like, what does developer happiness mean for you? Like, has your impression of that changed over your career? Does it always mean something? And is it always just a thesis and people just refer to it as X, or is it subjective? Like, I'm just curious what that means and how that relates to your work.
Yeah, actually, is a very common word that we use to describe ourselves in my company. As a platform engineer, we see ourselves as people that, there's been a lot of controversy, about DevOps is not a job. DevOps is not a role. DevOps is a philosophy and all of that. But we see ourselves, as a platform engineer, we work with developers, right? We help them to build self-service, tool that can help them to, build and ship application very fast, deploy, and they don't need to like depend on the operation people, So although the DevOps is to bridge, the developers and operation together, but coming in as a platform engineer and making developer having that self-service tools that they can, quickly develop their application and ship it, whether they are doing testing, whatever test they want to do and debug, they can do that, without relying on any other factor or any other party. So yeah, that's what we do. We work with our clients, and we try to help their developer to be self-service. So that is why we coined that word, being developer happiness, because when developer can actually have access to those self-service, it makes their work very easy and they are happy. So yeah, we see ourselves as enablers of those happiness for developers.
I love that. That's so cool. It's also interesting to unpack when you talked about the philosophy of DevOps, but then it's the actual implementation, the practice. I remember when I was learning how to code and I was talking to my friends from college, there's kind of the textbook, like theoretically, this is what's supposed to happen or this is how you should be thinking. But then in the real world, it's totally different, or it could be the same. There's sort of overlaps, like a Venn diagram, right? Like or from like
Mhm.
Facebook where like converging circles and stuff. So it's interesting when you talk about that of like there's that idea, but then actually how do you implement that? And there isn't just one simple solution, and you work with teams of people to figure these things out. So
Exactly.
I love
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot. Let us go into that rabbit hole. There's a lot of conversation about DevOps is not a role, and yeah, probably a lot of people have different opinion. But yeah, I also agree that DevOps is a philosophy, and it enables us to to do a lot of things. And I think platform engineering really explain it better. It's the application of all those philosophy, right? So DevOps is very broad. We can't just put it in a container. So yeah, well, that is what I would say. I'm just gonna leave it there.
And just leave
So
the mic
is
drop.
it a job title or is it not a job title? Because I have seen like a lot saying that it's not, it's more of a philosophy versus a job title. But I've been seeing a lot of job titles on LinkedIn that it's been posted. So what are your intake in terms of that?
My intake about that is that you can. I refer to myself as a DevOps practitioner, right? So I practice DevOps, right? So it's not necessarily have to be whether you put an engineer behind it or not. We all practice DevOps. So although I'm a platform engineer, but I practice DevOps. So therefore, I'm a DevOps practitioner, right? So, but I think the industry is evolving and people are getting to understand separation of roles. And I think as time goes on, we will have a better clarity whether it should be DevOps should be a role or not. But I don't think so. I think we are all DevOps practitioner, but you can either be SRE, you can be platform engineer, and all of that. But DevOps is a philosophy, and we all practice that, whether we are SRE or whether we are platform engineer.
I love it. That's so cool. It's super interesting because I have a friend who's SRE and loves it, and it's so different from other fields we talked about, like platform engineer, and then like kind of like your DevOps type person. So it's like interesting because yeah, I've seen you have like a DevOps job, or they're like head of like a platform, or they focus on like specific segments of it. I kind of like I like platform engineering because I like building applications on top of cloud and then working with cloud systems. But I have really, to be honest, like I've almost really wanted to be an SRE for a day because my friends told me that like they're just putting out fires all the time, and I feel like it's like crisis management but for tech. And like I think that maybe that's kind of my toxic trait is like I love like crazy situations or like crazy intense things or like people need to scramble to like figure something out really fast. Like I don't know, it's like scrambling for a test the night before.
I can see you doing that, though.
Right? Maybe not for too long though. I don't know how long I can last. Be like burnout's probably pretty high, but I don't know. Maybe I won't hope for it though. I feel like the number of fires that you need in a given day should be not a lot. But Sully, what about you? What's your impression on developer happiness, putting out fires, all the above?
Ooh, what is my definition of like what is like the ideal development environment?
I just feel like your definition, like maybe just your idea of like what does developer happiness mean for you? Like if you're gonna go and build something or think about building something, like are there certain things that you look for? Like I feel like for me it's like
Yes.
I try to like scope something out and then architect it, but not get too complicated into the build first to kind of like look at something and then build. But I'm curious like your approach.
I mean, I feel like Yeah, I feel like it's just having like the room and independence to kind of have ideas to how to develop it, right? Like, and have a very collaborative, like, um, I would say like teamwork where we all like share ideas, but also be like have the space of incorporating my own ideas and have it not like dismissed. Like, so I would say that my ideal will be like have a room where you can collaborate and also be independent too. Like really like share like actually built on your own too.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's like I like the creative freedom too, creative expression in tech, because also just coming from like a non-traditional background and like it's more like creative, kind of maybe like right brain ish. You go with like left brain, and then it's like that's not necessarily all of tech, because it's the ideas like you just said, and then how you think about the build, architectural patterns that you go through, maybe just like problem solving. There's a lot.
I think you have to develop that, right? So if you don't have the environment to kind of like start like sharpening your critical thinking or even understanding the why of why we like incorporating certain things versus the other, I think is just like ideally is having like that culture where you can start like brainstorming some ideas and thinking why one over the other makes sense for the company in general.
Totally. And even just thinking about building developer experience, developer happiness, something that makes me very happy is how we all met. So we all met in Las Vegas at reInvent, and we have the mugs to prove it. So
yes.
well, you and I are rocking the AWS Community Builders mug. Like let's dive into that. Like I'm actually really curious how you guys found out about the AWS Community Builders program, and like how you just heard about AWS. Like, Mo, do you want to start? Like, tell me about how you first heard about the program, and then did AWS happen before that? Was it after that? I'm just curious. Tell us kind of your story.
Yeah, I think as you said, we all met at in Las Vegas for the reInvent. I've been seeing a lot about, I'm very active on LinkedIn. So I've been seeing a lot about, community builders, but I don't really know what it entails. I was like, do I need to have a YouTube channel before I can become a community builder? Like, do I like, what do I need to do? So I wasn't really sure whether maybe I could fit in, into that. But then I applied for the All Builders Welcome Grant. That was where we were able to like meet in Las Vegas. So I met a lot of AWS community builder, in reInvent 2021. And I'm like, so a lot of people just encourage me, like, yeah, I think you are very active on LinkedIn. You talk about AWS, you do all of that. I think you are building community that way. And I was like, yeah, I think so. That I'm building community, although I believe in more one-on-one, when I get to like mentor people and get to like, help people that are, transitioning into tech generally, just, to guide them through the path that also helped me to get into tech. So I'm like, yeah, I might not be building like, thousands of community at a go, but building individual, if it is 3 people I get to like, mentor, I think that's also community. So literally that was how I was, inspired to like apply for the community AWS Community Builder. So I learned about it that I can actually apply for it by meeting other community builder at the reInvent. But I've been seeing a lot of posts about it on LinkedIn, but I'm like, I don't think it's for me. But I think I was very encouraged, participating in some of the community builder session at the reInvent, and I'm like, yeah, I think I can apply for this. And then that was literally what I did. I just added my LinkedIn profile as what I've been doing, and also and I was able to get into it. So that's literally my story, getting into AWS Community Builder.
That's awesome.
You're awesome, man.
That's so cool. Yeah, because it's like, do you think that you'd be because when I go on LinkedIn, like I see you everywhere, and I love seeing your posts pop up and stuff. Like you're all over the platform. Like, did you see yourself becoming more of like I hate the term like techfluencer or like techfluencer because it's so like shallow and it takes away from actual real work that people do to build community. But sometimes being an influencer, it's like it's a helpful idea for people who don't necessarily know how we use social media and content to build bridges, to mentor people, to explain stuff, create events and opportunities for people to learn. So not to call you like a tech influencer, but like did you see yourself becoming that when you started in the program, or did it kind of just happen kind of spontaneously?
Yeah, I think it just happened, and I try to also stay away from the word influencer because I rather just use maybe I love to maybe instruct people, maybe like instructor, and yeah, it's also like mentor is also not really the word because but like I think yeah, influencer. I'm very very active on LinkedIn, and I do a lot of my discovery was at some point was my office was actually LinkedIn at some point, just trying to like see how I can break into tech. So I was just networking and getting to know the platform very well and being able to use the platform effectively. So I think the best thing is to just use whatever you have. If you are used to YouTube, if you are used to Instagram, just use whatever platform you have to put your voice out there. And I think, yeah, it's all for the community. Honestly, my first post on LinkedIn about infrastructure that I 3-tier architecture that I designed from a Twitch Twitch program that we were doing. Yeah, there was an assignment on one of the AWS session from Twitch, and I just attempted it and I made a post about it. And I got a very great feedback, people trying to like even help me, gave me feedback on how to improve it. I was like, wow, so it's not that bad. So that was how I got encouraged to like just put my thoughts out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to like be very careful about it. Just put it out there. You will get to learn, you will refine, people will, correct you and just continue to grow. And that was how actually the everything just like blew up just like that. As I started having a lot of followers. I didn't even believe it's gonna be like that. I'm like, what? But yeah, I enjoy it. But I try to like just put my thoughts out there. But I'm not an influencer at all. But I get to instruct people and just share the path that I've followed that have helped me, and also learning from others in the community. I try to share that with people that might be interested. Yeah, that's what I see myself.
So learning in public, y'all.
Yes.
In posts.
Yes. Sully, you do that.
Be courageous. Yes, I've been trying to do that. Yes. You were asked originally like how we all connected, and we all connected reInvent. And I learned about community builders through reInvent actually, because you mentioned it, and then I met Jason, who's the one who runs the group and the community. And then from there, I was just like, oh, this is interesting. I want to learn more. I want to be part of this community. I want to like continue earning my like cloud cloud computing skills. So I was just like, I applied, and then behold, I got accepted into front end and mobile. So it's been like great ever since. But you have asked like in terms of that actually gave me the encouragement to start writing blogs, to start learning about serverless. And at first I was very timid in terms of like, I'm still new in the game. Like, how about like me publishing what other people's gonna think of it? But like, as you mentioned, I was just like, I'm just gonna put it out there. And that's how I learn. That's how I grow. And I think it's also like a way to kind of pay it forward into the community. Like what I'm learning and the resources, I want other people to kind of like leverage that as well. So yeah, it's been an awesome community. I'm still learning. I'm still tapping into a lot of amazing folks that inspire me every day. So go ahead, apply, y'all.
That's awesome. And speaking of leveling up through the AWS Community Builders program, Sully, you have kind of an exciting thing that's coming up.
Yes, I always get shy talking about like myself and stuff like that.
But it's a big deal. Yeah.
It is.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah. What is it? I already know what it is, but tell us.
Yeah, of course you do. So one of my goals for this year is like get out of my comfort zone. and I wanted to improve my public speaking skills. So I started to slowly doing like Boston, Boston local meetups, and I did my presentation then. But I recently submitted my call for proposal for CB Navigate, which is the cloud native big conference, and this year is taking place in London. And it got approved, accepted. So I'll be speaking with Ramiro on topics, and we'll talk about it's on preview environments, and so it will be very, very fun. I'm very nervous because I've never done it. I've never done a big conference like this. So, but I'm also very excited. And we need more women in Latinas or women in general taking space. And that was one of my other motivators to become a speaker. So yes, I'm very, very excited. And this is happening in September. And I hope it didn't get cut off.
So cool. So it's like going from speaking, in local meetups to then speaking on the international stage, right? Huge. That's crazy in the span of what, a year-ish? Less than a year, kind of.
It's been all in it literally started a few months ago where I started okay, I need to start sharpening that skill. And little by little, I'm speaking in public, and then moderating my first tech event, and then I'm okay, I'm gonna go big or go home, right? And then I submitted my proposal, and luckily enough they accepted it and approved the proposal that I presented. Yeah, and it's gonna be international. I wasn't even thinking it that way, but Brian was like, "You're gonna be an international speaker." I'm I don't know about that, but yes, I'm excited.
It's humble.
So awesome.
It's humble to the last. It's oh yeah, it is international. I didn't realize it. I was Sully, what?
No, it's not here. So yeah. But I am very proud of myself for at least putting myself out there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you too. Yeah.
And we are very proud of you.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of you.
So proud.
I appreciate y'all for being so supportive. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I love this community.
Yeah. Even just speaking on community, how has just a program like AWS Community Builders, just programs like All Builders Welcome, how have these types of programs helped to just empower you all and make you build things that you might not have thought of? I'm just thinking of the live streams, right? You build something kind of in public. Maybe there's a workshop that you attend and you get to talk to other people that kind of walk you through the services and how they work. What is community meant to both of you?
Oh, I feel like it's just been a platform where you learn a lot of different things. I just tap into the community in general. I feel like the people that I have met, I don't think I would have been exposed if it wasn't part of this community. I feel like I'm constantly learning. Now I'm learning about cybersecurity, which is something that I wasn't really interested in the past, but now I'm learning about vulnerability, how you're exposed this vulnerability to maintainers. So it's been very, very interesting journey, but overall it's also been a very supportive, because we have also Women in Tech channel where we support each other. We talk about our wins, our challenges, imposter syndrome. So it's just also been very, very great in that sense too. But I'm always I feel like I'm always going to be a student, that I'm constantly learning about different things. So I feel like that has been essentially the benefits that I've been getting from this community.
That's so awesome. Moyua, what about you? What's community meant to you over the years?
There's been a lot I've benefited from this community, and because I see myself as someone that really get to this space, being able to break into tech, by harnessing the power of community, power of networking, and so I'm always constantly looking for ways to give back. And I think AWS Community Builder actually gave me that platform. I don't know, I think around last year, I just felt like there might be a way for me to empower some of the the upcoming generation, people that are just coming out of school, that I just reflect back that I know I was confused at some point when I was about leaving college. I was like, what next after college? Like, what next after my degree? I wasn't really sure what I want to do. So yeah, I had a program so I went back to my alma mater in Nigeria. I was able to organize a free cloud computing training, 6 weekends for the final year students from my university, and I was able to train them AWS, and yeah, the community supported me, being able to like provide some learning platform, and also vouchers, right, for some people that want to take the exam. And yeah, like one of them has taken the exam and he passed. I know 3 other students are also like practicing to write the exam. So yeah, having this platform, as one, empowered me, and also empowered me to empower others. And I think that's one thing I gained from benefited from this platform. Another key thing about me, I love continuous learning, right? So I have access to, we all have access to this credit, whereby I have on my on my AWS account, just knowing that I can explore whatever service, just like explore it and like see how it works without thinking about, oh, like would this really like shrink my pocket and all of that. I think that's one of the huge benefits for me, for continuous learning. I'm always comfortable to like just try the kind of things. And also some one other cool thing is that most of these new services or features, we get to also like review them and also like provide feedback. Recently I provided a feedback about CloudFormation, infrastructure as code generally. So I think, yeah, this, having my voice out there and to also like contribute in one way or the other, I think, yeah, that's one of the benefits I really appreciate from being part of the community builder.
That's so awesome. It's also so empowering. You're like globally educating, globally speaking. Y'all are so cool. This is awesome. Yep. Definitely like the glow ups. I'm all about the glow up, and especially Sully, you were talking about that too, of like go big or go home. Big proponent of that, because it's like if you won't go big for yourself, then like who's going to, right? Like you have to at a certain point just
exactly
like step up to the plate, hit a home run, and just keep swinging. So that's so cool,
and keep on learning. And yeah. I think we've been like created that space where we all support each other and we all share resources, and like so it's very essential and very important. And I feel like that's what keeps me also like driving, right? Like I'm motivated by all of you guys, and that continues to push me and motivate me to, okay, now I gotta like step it up a little bit higher. And every year you gotta constantly evaluate like what is my next challenge and continue growing. So yeah.
Totally. So not to put you on the spot, but what is your next challenge? Like, have you thought that far ahead yet? I mean, obviously speaking at international conference is huge, but I mean, do you?
I definitely want to continue doing that. I definitely want to be more of a expert speaker on several different topic or subject matter or domains, depending on how you want to word it. So I see myself conferences, speaking at conferences, learning more about cybersecurity, doing documentations, how to properly document, different things. This is in general, like, so yeah, I think like one of my biggest challenges, exposing myself to be like more of a girl, what you say. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'll reshare both of your handles, but I feel like we should follow you for the next cool conference that we all need to attend, right? Because you'll probably be speaking at it. Is that fair to say? Maybe, probably, definitely.
I that got caught off. I didn't hear like the last part that you mentioned.
Oh, I was just saying that I was gonna drop your social media handle again in the chat, and I was gonna say that people should follow you because then they'll know what conference to go to, because then you'll be speaking at it. So
Oh my God, yes. Now I'm like blushing. But yeah, feel free to connect with all of us. And yeah, I'm always open to talk and ask questions. Feel free to ask questions.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. And then Moyua, for you, I mean, you're crushing it on all cylinders. Like, what are the things that you're trying to do next? Is it skills based? Is it service based? Is it certain wins that you're trying to hit from? I don't know, just like hitting certain milestones or certain tickets. Like, what are the things that you're really focused on? Your next big ambitious goals.
Yeah, I think I consider myself as more like a generalist. Having a wide, understanding and knowledge across cloud generally. But I think this year I've been trying to step back and reflect on how can I actually be a T-shaped engineer. Having a specialty in one area that I'm known for, something like a 300 level kind of content. So that is what I'm trying to push myself for this year. I've been exploring a lot about observability, a lot about serverless and all of that. So I think that really interests me, and I'm trying to build some documentation, just like Sully said, build some documentation around that. And I also know that a big challenge I want to give myself is to, when next I'll be attending an event, not just to be a participant, but to be a speaker. But I know there are a lot of work for me to do to get there. So yeah, that is my set of goals. Going forward to the next milestone I want to get to.
Yes, I also want to learn machine learning and augmented reality. So that's one of the goals too, and create an app around that. So we'll see. To be seen in the future.
Yep.
That's awesome. And I just popped up. Andreas, thanks so much for tuning into the channel. They were just replying to
Hi, Andres.
what you guys were talking about.
No, we also kept in touch. I gotta go visit Austin soon, hopefully in September.
I was gonna say your next speaking gig will be maybe there.
Maybe, you never know.
You never know. But this is so awesome. I know we're heading up on about 45 minutes. This was really, really great. Thanks so much, you both, for jumping on. This was so much fun. I'd say, just to kind of close us out, could both of you kind of just maybe share your handle, your social media, where people can find you? Moyua, do you want to go first? And you could just kind of let people know if you have a blog, a website. How could people reach you and reach out to you? Say hi.
Yeah, I'm a LinkedIn guy. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Check me out, Olumuyiwa Kolayemi on LinkedIn. I'm very happy to follow up and take the conversation to the next level from there.
That's awesome. And Sully, how could people get in touch with you? How could people find you? Maybe you have a blog or content that people could subscribe to?
Okay, I'm guessing this is my turn because it'll keep on cutting off. But yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Sully Martinez, and also on Twitter if you like to connect with me there. I do post more sometimes on Twitter, blogs, but I try to keep the consistency on both platforms. But on Twitter is Latina in Tech with the N. And yes, I look forward to hearing from you and connecting.
So awesome. Thank you so much, you both. Sully, Moyua, thank you so much for doing this.
A very impromptu meeting.
I love the organic.
As spontaneous and as not planned as it possibly could be. But I feel like that's what makes it vibey and fun, it's not like a strict workshop, it's like you can also just hang out and chat online. I love these types of conversations too.
I love it. I love being organic. I love it.
Awesome.
To the next one, please.
I was gonna say,
I'm drinking my coffee almost 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we have to jump onto some stuff. But thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Tech Stack Playbook Chats. Had such an amazing time talking with Sully and Moyua. Thank you so much, you both, for taking time out of your very busy schedules and days to do this. And maybe we could try to do this again sometime in the future.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. You both are the best. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us, Brian.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Bye, buddy.
Good to
Thanks for
see you
having
again,
us.
Sully.
Bye.
Bye.